What's up, you guys?
What's up, you guys? Slim here with a new video today. We're here to give you guys my November 2018 ban list predictions. That's right, you guys. You're going to see a ton of these videos amongst the next couple of days and weeks leading up to our ban list from pretty much every channel under the sun. I just wanted to get mine out there because YCS Pasadena is coming up. Our format is probably not going to change before then, but this is just to give you guys my ideas of what needs to be hit in order to address our format. Of course, we made this video together, you guys. Shout out to you, all my subscribers. I posted in the community tab. You guys provided some great feedback. Thank you guys as always. Shout out to you guys. Together, I think we came up with a very solid list of cards. I included some other cards that you might hate me for, but when we get to those, I'll talk about them. But anyways, to establish again our format, the top 5 decks are Danger Dark World FTK, Gokis, Sky Strikers, Altergeist, Thunder Dragons, no particular order, but those are the top 5 decks, you guys, and I feel that this list basically addresses all of those in the best way possible, and we're just going to get into it. So yeah, these are my ban list predictions for November 2018. Again, we don't know when we're going to get the list, but hopefully it's after YCS Pasadena, so hopefully in a couple weeks. So, banned. Can we just ban Firewall Dragon, like, for real? End video. Ban Firewall Dragon. Boom. Problem solved. Format solved. Yes. If only it were that easy, you guys. Unfortunately, we know Firewall Dragon's not going anywhere. Everyone talks about its plot armor, all this other bullshit, and I'm just like, you know what? Why don't they just do the smart thing? You know, there is a very smart solution to this whole problem, and I don't know why it's become such an issue that it can't be done, and that's just errata Firewall Dragon. They're errataing Chaos Emperor Dragon. I didn't even include Chaos Emperor Dragon on this list because I personally don't care if that card comes back with the errata. It's the new jump card, so it probably will. I probably should include it, but it's whatever. If they were to just errata Firewall to a hard once per turn on that special summon effect, problem would be solved. There'd be no infinite loop, and none of these cards that I have to talk about getting banned would be banned. So I'm very, against this. I think that, like, the fact that they won't do this is ridiculous. Like, why not just, just errata it? Like, just errata it. Who is it hurting to errata it? It's just hurting loops. We don't need degenerate loops in our game. Errata it to once per turn, and the problem solved. I know they're not going to do that, but I hadn't included on here, like, what's a ban list prediction without Firewall Dragon? But I'm giving you guys the best solution possible. I'm not even saying to ban the bastard. I'm saying to literally just errata it to a hard once per turn, and that's it. Problem solved. Think about it, Konami. If you're watching these videos, think about it. Come see me at YCS Pasadena. We can sit down and talk about it. Anyways, yeah, on to the actual ban cards, you guys. Unfortunately, the majority of these cards on this list are the casualties that are going to have to fall because of Firewall Dragon. So, of course, we have Cannon Soldier, Toon Cannon Soldier, and Cannon Soldier MK2, the 3 Cannon Soldier brothers. Reason being is because they create the degenerate loop with Grapha. Same thing with Amazoness Archer. Now, here's the thing. I don't think people are, like, even really playing these cards, but they want to come at me and say, hey, ban Grapha. No. Leave Dark World the hell alone. Dark World has not done anything in years. In years, you guys. And just because Grapha, Snow, and Brow are in the Danger Dark World deck does not even make it a Dark World deck by any stretch of the imagination, like, at all. Don't even touch Grapha. Don't touch my Dark Worlds. Leave them alone. That's all I'm going to say. They don't need to be touched. And I know you guys are saying, oh, but leave my Cannon Soldier, my Amazoness Archer. Are you even playing those cards? Like, for real, are you even playing those cards? I don't know any deck that plays any of the Cannon Soldiers if you're playing Toons. I don't know any deck that plays Amazoness Archer unless you're playing Amazons. If you notice, every time Amazoness Archer is in a deck, it's for a degenerate loop with Firewall. So no. These, unfortunately, are the cards that have to get hit because Firewall's not going to get hit, but leave my Dark Worlds alone. You're not going to see a single Dark World card on here hit because I think that is honestly just so stupid. Dark Worlds, unfortunately, are not doing anything. I don't know if they'll do anything in the future. Yes, they have card destruction back, but again, I told you guys last time, that does not matter. It does not make that deck tier 1 at all. So leave Dark Worlds alone. Those are the main cards to hit to address the FTK. And then to address Goki in, like, the best way possible. So I don't think any of the Goki monsters are going to get hit. They all kind of do the same thing. Goki, when you take away the problematic cards like Firewall and this other card, I feel that the deck's pretty fair. The other card that has to get banned, though, is Gumblar. That card is so unhealthy, you guys. Oh, my God. Like, this card, not only does it create the link arrows you need, but it makes it to where you can't even play with a hand. Like, you lose your hand and you lose the ability to play Yu-Gi-Oh! it is an FTK. Because not only are you losing your hand, but you're getting U-locked. Like, that's insane. Hit Gumblar, get him out of here, and it keeps our, it gives us a chance to play. Like, there's nothing worse than, it's bad enough to get U-locked, but if you can play with your hand, then you have a chance. But when you can't even play, when you can't even, use any of the cards in your hand because you don't have a hand, it sucks. So, hit Gumblar, and the problem is solved. So that's it for all the ban cards, you guys. There's not really anything else I can think of off the top of my head as far as the other decks go that I really want to touch. I feel like the only other thing I'll say as a side note, I don't think they should have brought card destruction back, but I don't think it's going to get back on the ban list. But anyways, on to the limited. Again, you guys gave a great list for ban. Shout out to you guys again. You guys gave another great list for limited cards. First and foremost, we're going to address just like some of the stuff that should be done, like to make it like a little bit easier, to hit certain decks. When I thought about Sky Striker, for a minute I thought, what are they really gonna do, to Sky Striker? And I was just like, I don't think they're gonna actually hit anything. Like, I don't think anything in that deck really needs anything else needs to go to 1. People said to put Engage. I have Engage on the semi-limited list, but as far as limited goes, I don't really think there's anything I would hit on pure Sky Striker. So I moved on to Thunder Dragons. Now, Thunder Dragons are very new, and people were like, hit Instant Fusion. No, I really like Instant Fusion. Not only because you can use it as an extender in Thunder Dragons and a starter card, but you can use it in a lot of decks, and I feel that if you hit Instant Fusion, it hurts a lot of decks, so I'm not hitting Instant Fusion. Instead, I'm just doing the thing that OCG did, and we're going to hit Gold Sark to 1. Card is extremely powerful, extremely busted in that deck because it triggers every single Thunder Dragon, and you can use multiple in a turn. They don't need that much power. The deck can play, even if it has 1 copy, they can just play the Brilliant Fusion route and be fine. So I'm not going to do anything else but hit Gold Sark to 1 in order to hit Thunder Dragons. They're too new, you guys. Like, that's a problem. You want to talk about plot armor? Well, they're too new to be hit beyond, maybe Gold Sark to 1. So that's as far as Thunder Dragons go. The next 2 cards I have are to address versions of the FTK and also versions of Goki and Dark Warrior. I don't know how probable these cards are. These are things you guys suggested, but we're talking about limiting to 1 Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher. I couldn't just hit 1 because if you hit 1, you can just play multiple copies of the other. I really don't want to see these cards go. These are really nostalgic cards, especially during the Teledad format. However, what they've come to do in this game, thanks again to Firewall and to everything else, is kind of insane. Armageddon Knight being a 1-card U-Link, 1-card FTK, Dark Grepher, etc. I feel like these cards need to be hit because they're really problematic. You have a copy of Rhoda to search them out, so there's always extra copies. You're always playing 4 copies of each. And I feel that these cards need to be addressed just because of the Firewall and degeneracy that comes up in these decks. Again, I don't know how probable this is, but I feel like this will put versions of Goki in check, the hero decks that are like the U-Link decks, Dark Warrior decks, etc. I personally don't want to do it. This is what you guys suggested, but I do agree to a far extent that if you do this, this will address some of the main issues in the format when not dealing with the FTK. But these cards, unfortunately, are part of some of the FTK decks, so I feel that limiting them to 1 is actually fair too. So that, and then here's my little just why the hell not? Let's limit it to 1. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. I hope you guys don't hit the dislike button because of this. This was suggested by you guys as well, and I thought about it for a while, but what if they brought Masterpiece back to 1? No, I know I'm going to get like a bunch of hate. Like, Slim, what's wrong with you? Oh my God, no, 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 no. Here's the thing, you guys. Masterpiece at 1 is not the end of the world. That card, there's a lot of ways to out that card when you guys think about it. Like, we have Borreload, we have Boral Sword, we have monsters that can just get bigger than Masterpiece and run it over. We have ways to get rid of Masterpiece really easily. Kaijus still exist. All these type of removal cards that don't target and things that just remove exist in this game. The thing with Masterpiece at 1 is I feel it would give more True Draco players the ability to play. Now, I know you guys are saying, Slim, the deck topped London. Yeah, only 1 topped. And yes, it's a Floodgate deck, but let's face it, you take away those Floodgates, what do they really have? They have Dynamite Knight, sure, but there's only 1 copy, and once you get rid of it or you banish it, like, that's gone. That's not coming back. I feel like Masterpiece at 1 would not be the end of the world, and it's something we could consider. I know you guys probably hate this idea. You probably think this is the worst list ever because of that, but just think about it. Does Masterpiece really end the game? I personally don't think so. Let me ask you one thing. Would you rather be FTK'd? Would you rather lose your hand? Would you rather face down a Masterpiece that you have the ability to out? Think about that. When you get Gumblard and you get FTK'd, you're not being given an option. If you're staring down 1 single copy of Masterpiece and you have ways in your deck to remove it, you have the ability and the options in your deck to out it. So think about that. So that is it for the limited to 1. I couldn't really think of anything else. I looked down the other list. I didn't want to limit to 1 any Altergeist cards. They'll be addressed in the next part of this list, but yeah, honestly, I didn't really want to hit anything else. Again, outside of Gold Sark to 1 for Thunder Dragons, and hitting some of the stuff in the Goki Dark Warrior deck and all of that. I don't feel any of that other stuff. And again, there's nothing in Sky Striker I'd really want to hit. So I feel that we do that. That should do the deck's justice. So on to the semi-limited list. Of course, to start with Sky Strikers, I hit Engage. Engage to 2 to mimic Japan. Put it to 2, the deck loses a little bit more steam, but the deck is still completely playable. Don't say it isn't. Look at OCG, that's all I'm going to say. The deck is still playable. You can still recycle it with Kagari because we're not going to ever hit the links. So I feel do that. That'll put Sky Strikers in check because the deck is still highly represented and still performs very well. So just options. Next is Destiny Hero Malicious. Now this is where I had an issue. So putting Malicious to 2, I'm all for it. But that's where I had the issue. If you guys can kind of see hitting Armageddon, hitting Dark Grepher, because usually those are the cards you send. But it's because you have other options to send with Armageddon Knight that I was like, all right, we'll go that far to hit everything. But yeah, Malicious to 2 has to be done because let's face it, that card is just so nuts. You could just play it in Burning Abyss for the hell of it to make a hard Beatrice. You can play it in the Danger Dark World FTK versions of it, Dark Warrior, Goki, etc. The card needs to be dealt with. Put the card to 2. Again, there's nothing else in Thunder Dragon I would hit. None of those cards really need to get hit. People are like Instant Fusion to 2. I'm still not going to touch Instant Fusion. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. Include that in the comments below, but I didn't want to touch it. But this is where I decided to address Altergeist. I personally love Altergeist, you guys. Some of you may know this. I really like the deck. However, I feel like even though it's never really won an event, I feel that it has been around. It has done some pretty crafty and sneaky things, and I think that the deck does need to be addressed. I looked at the deck as a whole and said, okay, where is the problem? And the problem is in Multi-Faker and Molaseek. So what I did is I put both of those to 2. Both. That's right. Not just 1, both. The reason why I did that is because a lot of people were saying, oh, put Multi-Faker to 1. I didn't want to do that. I feel that that would almost, in a sense, kill Altergeist, because of how powerful Multi-Faker is and how much of an impact that card has had. But I also thought, okay, we put it to 2, you're not going to see it as much. Yes, you can search it off Molaseek, but we put Molaseek to 2, you're not going to see Molaseek as much either, and you can ash that search when in general. So I thought, let's put both of those cards to 2, and then it lowers the consistency, it lowers the amount of times you're going to see those cards, and I feel that that addresses the deck. Hitting any of the traps is pointless, hitting any of the other monsters is pointless, because, like, let's face it, Altergeist doesn't have strong monsters, but their effects, their ability to float, their ability to come out for free off of traps, and their ability to, spin cards the way Molaseek does is insane. So I thought, hit those cards, and it makes Altergeist, like, not as consistent. So I had to do something for Altergeist. I didn't want to leave it unaddressed. So that was the card I hit. That's pretty much it for semi-limited. I thought of like other cards, and I'm going off of these 5 decks, but like there wasn't really anything else I wanted to hit. No other decks really like stood out to me as like super problematic. So yeah, that's why that's where I stand on that. Like I wanted to hit Altergeist a little bit, hit Malicious for sure, and then hit Engage just to mimic Japan, because we have a feeling that that's probably what's going to happen. So that takes us on to our no longer limited list. Now, before I go into that, I just want to say, I didn't touch Trick Stars. Personally, I know how many times we've said you need to hit Reincarnation to 1, and I've said it too. I'm guilty. Everyone fires back with Slim, just hit Droll. The problem is, we need Droll and Lockbird, this format. You know why? Because we're in an FTK format where if you Droll them, you get a turn, and you don't get FTK'd. So that's why we're not touching Trick Stars. Their time will come that Reincarnation will get hit like it did in Japan, but for now, leave it alone. Yes, I know it got second at London, but that guy, Ping's a really good player, and, his deck won off a lot of crazy things, and Droll Reincarnation was not one of those main things. If you guys watched a lot of the matches like I did on the live stream, his Cyber Dragon was putting in more work than those cards, and just the advantage that you get with Trick Stars. But I don't feel that, especially here in the United States, that the deck really needs to get addressed, so I didn't hit it. And last but not least, the no longer limited list. So by hitting the cards that, Firewall can loop with, all these cards, I put a Assault Core back because it's just not fair. I'm not the biggest fan of ABC, but it's not fair to you ABC players. at all. I think that was the worst hit I've seen on a list in a long time, and it was a victim due to Firewall and Cannon Soldier. But if you take away Cannon Soldier, I don't think A really will hurt anything, will not create any other loop unless I'm missing something. But put A Assault Core back, let ABC players play again, because it's a great anti-meta like stun deck as well. So A Assault Core to 3. I also put Dark Hole to 3. I don't think Dark Hole's that good. Personally, I really don't think it's that good. Yeah, you have a board wipe, but honestly, everything floats these days. Nightmares can lock it up to where your monsters won't be destroyed. Like, I don't see what Dark Hole really does. Am I missing something? Like, tell me if I am. I don't think Dark Hole's really doing anything, so... Next, I put Call by the Grave. This is a personal one. I want Call by the Grave back at 3. It's so stupid at 2. Call by the Grave is such a good card. Everyone's going to like, oh, that card's degenerate. The hell it's degenerate. That card literally saves you from hand traps. Not only that, it's like a DD Crow that helps you survive in the Sky Striker matchup. That card's so good. Has so many good applications. I don't think that card needs to be at any less than 3. That's just my personal opinion. I think the card is great. I think it does so much for the game. I think it's a fair card. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. But Call by the Grave at 2 honestly sucks. Some people are like, oh, that card needs to go to 1. Get the hell out of here. That card needs to be here. We need to have a way to play around things when we get hand trapped. You may be like, oh, he Called by the Grave me. It sucks. Well, let me ask you something. If you're going off and they hand trap you and you don't have Called by the Grave, don't you wish you had Called by the Grave? Think about that. So yeah, that was just a personal one. Now to wrap out the No Longer Limited, I thought about a lot of cards. I was just like, man, there's not really many things I can really bring back. Like I looked down the Forbidden Limited list and I was just like, there is something that stood out to me. At first I thought about wind-ups, but then I was like, nah, some loop will come out with Firewall again, and I'm not going to be about it. But then I thought about a deck that I couldn't stand back in 2012, and I thought about Inzectors. So I put Dragonfly and Hornet back to at 3, and I know everyone's going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Let me ask you something. What would Inzectors honestly do? What would they do? Tell me what they would do this format. I'll wait. Exactly. I can't think of anything they would do except starting to pop stuff. And let's face it, we have a lot of hand traps that stop stuff. We have impermanence, we have ashes, bells, etc., gammas, everything. I think it'd be kind of cool to see Inzectors come back and try to do something. I don't think there's any kind of crazy loops or any kind of crazy like super advantage the deck could get. I mean, Rabbit's back at 3. I mean, you know, like the 2012 format, Rabbit's back at 3. Windups can't do their loop and everything. I feel Inzector, Hornet, Inzector, Dragonfly back wouldn't be the worst thing. I thought about a lot of cards, you guys. I just couldn't think of anything else. Like I thought, you know, maybe bring these back. Maybe it'll, you know, bring some people out of the woodworks to, you know, to play again. I mean, other than that, those are pretty much my, you know, my rundowns. You guys provided a lot of this stuff again. The final shout out to you guys for all of that. I'm going to look at your guys' suggestions again if there was anything I missed, but I'm pretty sure we covered everything. Definitely don't want to see Grapha or any of the Dark Worlds hit. Oh, people want to talk about like bringing like Necros cards back. I didn't play a Necros format, you guys. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to say about that because I never played, so I can't really say anything, you guys. I'm sorry. I never ever touched a Necros card or played against it, so I can't tell you guys anything about that. I wouldn't bring anything in Zoo back. I mean, I don't know if bringing anything back in Zoo would do anything, but that and people talked about banning Tomahawk. I mean, honestly, you need to make 2 7s to bring it out, so it's not really anything I would want to touch. Don't touch Isolde. Gumblar for sure. Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's nothing else I'd really want to hit. There's nothing I'd really want to put to anything else to semi-limited or unlimited, but I think overall this list covers a lot, and I want to just say you guys did a great job. So anyways, these are my predictions, you guys. Remember that. These are just predictions. These are not guaranteed at all. But like I said, I feel there's a way to solve this format, a very simple way to solve this format, and that's what I told you guys in the beginning of the video. Errata Firewall Dragon. If we can't ban it, errata it. Make our game playable and more enjoyable again. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. The more likes there is, the better I know you guys enjoyed the video. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts on the upcoming Forbidden and Limited list. What would you like to see and what do you think will happen? Make your own predictions in the comments below, and I'll be sure to read them and get back to you guys on what I think about them. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.